Shalom. I guess I haven't posted anything in a while as far as video, but something happened today and I thought I would vent a little bit, or I guess I'll just say share. So I'm sharing. Okay. So I had to run some errands today. And on the way back, I saw a poster. It's a poster I've seen before, but it's powerful. It is a poster of the faces of all the hostages who still aren't back, who are still in Gaza, who are still missing. We don't even know if they're in Gaza, but they're missing. And in the center is a prayer in Hebrew. It's a prayer that starts, Achenu kol Beit Yisrael. All the people in Israel are brothers. And it's a prayer for people's well-being. And there's a very similar prayer that we say, and even since before the war, we've been saying this for Tzva Hagana L'Israel, which is the IDF, Israel Defense Forces, for the well-being of the soldiers and everyone. Especially now, we've been losing a lot of people. So it was emotional. I think there's not one day that goes by that I don't cry. And I think that's probably true for just about everyone here. You just get into conversations with people, and once you start talking about it, tears just come. It's just, there's no avoiding it. So, I felt compelled to take a photograph of this poster. Among others, other photographs I've taken, I'm not going to get into it. But anyway, when I finished taking this photograph, and I was a bit emotional, I looked to my left. I don't know, just peered away from it, and I noticed that there was a car parked there. Not parked, it was waiting at a traffic light. However, on the passenger side of the car, staring straight at me, was a young Arab boy. I would say anywhere between 13 and 16 years old. No more than that. And he looked at me. If looks could kill, I wouldn't be here right now. He had such daggers in his eyes, such hostility and hatred. And he wanted me to see him looking at me. Like, he just stared at me like that, looked away, and then looked back and kept on staring at me until that car moved. And it was a long light. It was a really long light. It was very uncomfortable for me. It was very disturbing. And the hatred was palpable. But here's the thing. Didn't seem like they were particularly oppressed. They're driving a car, right? He's in a car with, I didn't even get as far as to see who was driving. I couldn't get past the gaze, the stare, the hatred that he was showing me. I was taken aback. I shouldn't have been, because this is like a normal thing, unfortunately. But still I was. And again, I don't know, they seem to be doing okay. Someone's driving a car and paying insurance for it. Must be doing all right. Living in Israel, I imagine. I don't have a car. I'd love to have a car, but I don't have a car. They do. And so I think, what came to mind is that I feel beyond irritated at even the slightest suggestion that Israel is an apartheid state. Oh, really? All right. Here are a couple of things that people outside of Israel who have never stepped foot in Israel should know. I mean, the truth is that people who are watching my posts are probably not those people I'm talking about, but please feel free to share this with anyone who is willing to open their eyes a bit to see reality and to maybe say, oh, I guess maybe I was wrong. See, here are a couple of things that you should know about this apartheid state that we're living in. If anyone has ever walked into a pharmacy here, so we have a large pharmacy chain called Superfarm. It has cosmetics. It's like in New York we have CVS. I don't know what you have everywhere else. But it's a pharmacy. They sell perfumes. They sell makeup. They sell all sorts of stuff. Well, guess what? Here in Jerusalem, maybe other areas in Israel, but not many. But here in Jerusalem, it is completely staffed by Arabs. There is not one. Now, when I say Israeli, let's understand there are Israeli Arabs, but I am specifically referring to Jewish people when I say Israelis, okay? So let's just make that clear right now. I have not seen one Israeli work in a super farm. You have the pharmacists, who really, they're lovely people. Pharmacists, the checkout people who manage the store, people in the makeup department, people in the perfume department, everyone. You only hear Arabic, and you can tell, and the married women are all covered. So, yeah, okay. So that's a pharmacy. Okay. Next, bus drivers. Just based on my experience, and I take buses a lot, I'm going to say 98% of the bus drivers are Arab. Now, understand, your life is in their hands, right? They're driving you. They're in control. Granted, they're happy to be here. They have a good life. They have good jobs. Probably getting paid nicely. And they don't want to jeopardize that. And some of them are very lovely. Okay, so that's two places so far. We have the pharmacy and we have the buses. Okay. So we have an application called Get, G-E-T-T, and it is an application where you can order a taxi and take you to your destination. Now, interestingly, in Israel, there used to be an option called Mehadrin, which means that you have the option of ordering a taxi that is being driven by an Israeli, someone who's Jewish. So if that feels more comfortable for you, then go for it. That option has been taken away. So at this point, when you order a cab, you have no idea who's going to be driving it. If you're going a long distance, that could be it can make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. I was on a bus going to Efrat at night. No, first it was before Shabbat. Unfortunately, I was the last one on the bus. The bus driver was Arab. Started asking me all sorts of questions about me. I'm the last one on the bus. I just wanted to jump off. I couldn't. Thank God I got there alive. But I was scared. I will say, I was nervous. Anyway, so we have the buses, we have the cabs, we have pharmacies. Where else do we have many, 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 many Arabs? Okay. Restaurants. Big one in restaurants. Yeah, okay. Chefs, cooks, wait staff, people cleaning up. Not easy to find someone who is Israeli working in restaurants. You know, it's funny. Like, sometimes people say, oh, I can't not eat out every once in a while. I mean, yeah, you can. You don't have to go to restaurants, but when you do, you want to enjoy the experience. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's not me speaking. A lot of people have said, I don't know if they're spitting in my food. I know it sounds silly, right? We sound like children, but these people hate us. They don't like us. Some of them are very listen, they're nice. Some. I'm going to move on because I have more to say about this. Hospitals. That's a good one. Hospitals. I cannot believe how many Arab employees there are in hospitals. The doctors, orderlies, people working the concessions, people being treated. I cannot tell you how many Arabs are walking into hospitals. I see more Arabs than Israelis. Honestly. We treat them. They have their babies there. It's a beautiful thing. And it's wonderful. I don't have a problem with it. It's not true. I do have a problem with it. I'm just thinking, like, there is only one Jewish state in the entire universe. It's not Miami. Miami's not a state. It's not Florida. Sorry. And it's certainly not New York. It's Israel. It's the only country in the universe that is Jewish. How many Arab states are there? Like something like 58, I think. If I got it right, 58. Can't they just leave us alone? Anyway, reason why I'm saying all this is because this is such a freaking integrated state. We embrace this. For the good or the bad, we embrace it. And no matter how much we embrace it, and no matter how good we are to everybody, we get killed. Not one day goes by that there is not a terrorist attack or a thwarted terrorist attack or something intercepted in the air. This is our daily life. Want to hear something really cool? So this is how apartheid we are. Arabs can come and go. Yeah, they have to go through checkpoints. Deal with it. There's a reason why we have checkpoints, because we get killed and we have to make sure that it's safe to live. Sorry, we do. People get killed at the checkpoints, by the way. Yeah, lots. Not only that, but the other side got really smart. And now they figured out that, guess what? Rush hour is prime time here. Because rush hour is where you have so much traffic and you have people who can't really go far because they're stuck in traffic. Think of how many Jewish people we can kill right away. Wow! Party! Yeah, but this is true. This is really happening. So this is not an apartheid state. Just understand that. It is so beyond integrated that it's obnoxious. I'd like to say that I'm cool with it, but the truth is, I'm not. I'm not. There are peaceful people, sure, just like in Gaza. They're peaceful, right? No, they're not. But I'm not getting into that right now. Do you know what is segregated? All of the Arab areas. By the way, after the Jews were evacuated, were thrown out of Gaza, the 21 settlements, people's homes were there, they raised children there, and this is our ancestral homeland, let's not forget that. So many people are displaced. No one seems to give a crap about that. I was in Eilat last week for a few days, last minute trip. There were so many evacuees there from the north and the south. Many from the south, they're just not in the hotels anymore. They've left, but still so many left. They don't have homes to go back to. Why is that not a thing? Why are people only paying attention to the poor Gazans who had to be evacuated? I understand. We were evacuated too. Recently, and then years ago. Many were evacuating. We have tons of refugees. Just saying. So, this is an interesting fact. So, for those of you who have never been in Israel, and who actually think that you know anything about this place, and you go with the cool thing, like that we're bad, and you're amazing, but you've never stepped foot in this place. So you have I'm going to keep it clean. You have no clue what you're talking about. Totally uninformed. Get your asses. That wasn't so clean, but anyway. Get your asses on a plane. Come to Israel. Try it out. Be here for 1 day. That's it. Just 1 day. See how segregated it is. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. So, we're not allowed to go into Gaza. We haven't been allowed to go into Gaza. We don't have a presence there. Now, well, I'm sorry, we were attacked. We didn't ask for this, so yeah, we have to do something about that. We have people who are missing. Yeah. If this happened anywhere else, this war wouldn't have taken so long. So maybe a little known fact to those of you who don't live in Israel or have never been here. There are 3 categories of areas here. There are areas A, B, and C. I don't remember which is which, but one of them is predominantly Jewish. One is kind of mixed. And then there's a third one that is all, not predominantly, it is all Arab. Guess what? We Jewish folks are not allowed to go there. There are signs before the entrance saying, if you are Jewish, do not come. Your lives are in danger. You will likely be killed. I'm not making this up. This is real. And there are several areas where you see this. Don't go there. And you know what they do? Just in case there might be a shadow of a doubt, if you're not a native Israeli or a native Hebrew speaker, they have it in English. Just to make sure, don't make any mistakes, you won't come out alive. So where's the segregation here? Where's the apartheid? Where is it? It's not in Israel proper. Just remember that. We're not allowed to go there, but they can come here very freely. We have East Jerusalem. Many of the terrorists come from there. Did you all know that? Just a fun fact. So while we're here, living in our ancestral homeland, with the constant threat of terrorism, rockets, and all sorts of horrible stuff, but we don't know where it's going to happen. We're living this every single day. So this boy, who could be nice and brave from the confines of probably his daddy's car, I kind of felt like saying to him, roll down your window. I gotta tell you something. Roll down your window. If you hate us so much, leave. Go away. You have like freaking 58 countries that you can go to. Oh, I'm sorry. You choose to be here? You choose to be here? Then play nice. We live here. This is the only place that we can be. You got a problem with that? Sorry, I know. I had to throw a little New York in there. Sorry. As terrifying as his stare was, I'm going to have to say that I can't blame him. It was awful. It was awful enough that I felt that I needed to talk about it, that I needed to share this. Maybe instead of, I just wish there was something that could be done about this innate hatred, this learned hatred. He hated me just because of who I was. Never met me before, never had an interaction. But I was looking at that poster and that pissed him off. It pissed him off just to see me. And he was taught this from a young age. This didn't just happen. If you're going to choose to live in Israel, then you need to choose peace. We don't do crap to you. Don't do crap to us. We don't look at you with these horrible stares. And when I went to my meal, when I went to my work, every single day, I took an Arab bus. That was scary as shit. Okay, I'm not keeping it so clean. Sorry. That was scary. People on the bus weren't happy with the fact that I was there, and they made it very known. I was okay. I wasn't going very far. The bus drivers got to know me. One of them actually said to me in Hebrew, he goes, I think you're on the wrong bus. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm not on the wrong bus. I think I'm on the right bus. And he said, well, where do you need to go? And I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, something's not right here. Where do you need to go? So I told him where I needed to go. Sha'ar Yafo, which is the Jaffa Gate, and goes, oh, yeah, you're on the right bus. He was trying to protect me. He was like, nah, I don't think you want to be on this bus. This doesn't, it's not your crowd. There is something about living in a land that is your ancestral homeland and feeling weird about being there. What is that about? It's not okay. It took me my entire life to come here. Many years. Well, I'm finally here, and I consider it to be such an incredible privilege to have been able to move here and live here. So in that respect, I am living that dream. It would be very, very nice if we could just live in peace. I know, that's the big thing that everybody says. If it would be possible to de-radicalize people. If this boy was raised differently, I would not have had that experience. But just to be hated because I exist. Like everybody here. If you're going to be here, spread light, not darkness. There's got to be a way. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's not possible, but I'm hoping that it's possible that this new generation, the young generation, could be taught something else. Maybe one day, this boy who has in his heart to hate us with every part of his being, maybe one day something will change for him. And he will be able to spread light instead of darkness. I don't know. One can only hope. Let's hope for better days to come. Peace out. Shulamit.